Hello, everyone. My name is Raj Harjika. I'm a Director of Enterprise Architecture at NorthBay Solutions. The objective of today's session is to understand what this AWS Well-Architected review is. In other words, what is AWS WAR? Let's get into it. The very first question which we need to answer is that, what this framework is all about. So you can think of AWS WAR framework as a set of best practices and architecture principles that one needs to follow in order to make sure that your workload is running efficiently and effectively on AWS cloud environment. So what it does for you, the AWS WAR helps you to build secure, high-performing, resilient, efficient infrastructure for all your software applications. Okay, so any software application you can think of, whether it is prod, non-prod, on-cloud, non-cloud, legacy systems. So whatever the software application it might be, WAR is there for you to be helped and provide some assistance and guidance to make sure that you are doing the right thing. What are some of the benefits? You can build and deploy faster because your team can focus more on adding business value rather than doing the heavy lifting. You can identify risk earlier so that you can mitigate or lower the risk at least. What it does help you with is to make informed decisions because you are aware of the risk you are getting into and how you have mitigated. And if some things are going to be residual risk, then what are your decisions you have made accordingly. So it's helping you to make informed decisions. Last not the least, adopt AWS best practices. Very important, right? So making sure that you are keeping up with the dynamics of AWS offerings and services features that it has to offer on a daily basis, I would say. It has 6 pillars as of December 2021. Before it used to be 5 pillars, as pretty much most of you might be already aware. The first one being operational excellence. Next is security. The third is reliability. Fourth is performance efficiency. The fifth one being cost optimization. And sixth one, which has been introduced and reinvented in December 2021, is sustainability. Okay. NorthBay is already capable and enabled to run the well-architected review for you with 6 pillars. Okay, so we have already identified the set of best practices and guidelines as far as sustainability is concerned, of course, in alignment with AWS. So AWS has been leading the industry from day one, I would say, right? The cloud industry. And what they have been doing throughout their journey is reviewing thousands of workloads and reviewing them not just from the cloud eligibility standpoint, but also the architecture side of things, right? How well it will run in AWS cloud environment. So all this input has become part of your WAR framework. So it's driven out of real world experience. Partners like NorthBay also play a critical role when it comes to building this framework or adding some new guidelines and principles to these frameworks, because our experience of assessments also goes in and fits into the what we call as a AWS repository for architecture. Okay, and what it internally helps is to ensure that we provide you the right assessment, right guidance, along with the AWS, of course. We are always in sync and make sure that your applications are meeting the highest standard, and your team is also getting enabled at the same time to follow the best practices throughout. What it involves, very straightforward process. It's not very complicated. Okay, so the very first thing is that you define your workload. The workload is nothing but a set of applications combined together along with the resources it uses that adds a business value or that gives a business value to your customers. Okay, then we do the actual assessment session or review session, if you want to call it, where we bring your stakeholders together with our SAs from NorthBay. We sit together, go through a bunch of questions and answers, and apply some best practices. The outcome of that is within a week or two, you will get an assessment report from NorthBay, which will highlight the high risk issues, medium risk issues, but in detail though. Okay, so don't worry about it. We just don't take the tool generated PDF and share it with you. We spend a lot of time to come up with all the details around the issues that has been identified, irrespective of what the severity is. Then we also include detailed recommendations specific to reviewed workload, and along with the remediation path, that how you should be going about resolving these issues. and recommended next steps. Some of the steps might be immediate, some of them might be 3 months or 6 months from now you can defer it, but we do provide you a complete roadmap based on the assessment what we did. These recommendations are prioritized based on the severity of impact, so from going from high to medium generally, but we can also include low if you want to. Okay, so during the session you can mention that you want to include low items as well, low priority items, and we can definitely include that as well. Completely free of charge, right? So if you're engaging NorthBay, it's completely free of charge, or even any other AWS partner, and you are eligible to receive a $5,000 credit in your AWS account, not a cash value, but a credit going to your AWS account. That there are certain conditions, and one of the conditions that you have to meet is that you have to engage NorthBay to remediate 25% of your high-risk items that are HRIs. Okay. How to get started? Very simple, very straightforward. Contact us at info@northbaysolutions.com. Visit us at northbaysolutions.com, or if you want to prefer to talk to us, please give us a call at 617-433-9221. Thank you, guys. I hope you find this information useful, and I'm looking forward to conducting your very first WAR assessment. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.